sometimes later will become never. My dear students, please remove this sometime later word from your dictionary. So I welcome all of you to my first session on Python Revision Tool 2. My dear students, in this session I will be discussing more about strings in Python. Let's get into the session. So you all know what is strings. Strings is a group of characters which is enclosed between the quotes. Yes sir, it is very important to understand one more thing in this particular concept, that is how exactly we are indexing the string. So we have two different types of strings in Python, my dear students. So that is forward indexing, another one is backward indexing. So how exactly we are giving this forward indexing and backward indexing is what we are trying to understand now. So let us take a look. So my dear students, in this example, so you need to observe. So I have given a string. My string is Python here. For this string, I have given the name as name. You need to observe here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what I will call it as a forward indexing. Always my forward indexing starts from 0 and my backward indexing starts from -1. Always my forward indexing starts from 0 and my backward indexing starts from -1. So you need to understand one more thing in this example. Sir, I want to access a particular character in this string. So how do I access? So with the help of indexing, I will be able to access. For example, I want to access y. How do I access y? So what is the name of the string? The name of the string is name. So with this I have to give the index. So what is the index of y? Suppose if I am using forward indexing, my indexing will be 1. That is what you need to understand. So this is for the forward indexing. How do I represent that y using the backward indexing? Yes, I have to write the name of the string. So that is name. Then I have to write the backward indexing. So what is the backward indexing value? -5. So I will be writing -5. This is how I will be using the concept of forward indexing and backward indexing. You all know that. How do I use the forward indexing and backward indexing, and what is the use of this indexing, sir? So easily I can go to that particular character. So that is what the help that the indexing is doing it to me. So that is what you need to remember. So moving on to the next one, strings in Python. So with respect to the strings, what is the topic that I should know is what that you should understand now. So the first thing is item assignment not supported. So my dear students, item assignment is not supported. So what is this item assignment is not supported? So that is very important thing. So in short, I can just tell you the concept, that is string is not mutable. How it is possible, sir? So that is what I am going to explain with respect to item assignment is not supported. So second one, traversing a string. So traversing in the sense what, sir? So visiting each and every character that I have in string is what I will call it as a traversing. How am I doing it? So that is what I will be discussing with respect to traversing a string. Third one, operators. What are the different types of operators that I have in string is what I will be discussing with respect to the string operators. The next one, string slicing. So all of you know that string slicing in the sense I will be dividing the strings into substrings, or I will be extracting the part of the string. So that is what I will call it as a string slicing. The process of extracting a substring from the string is what I will call it as a string slicing. How it is possible, I will explain in this concept. The last one is string functions. All of you have studied the string functions, but I will be discussing with examples with respect to the string functions. Let's start with the first one. Item assignment is not possible. So my dear students, remember, understand, I have a string variable. The name of the variable is name. So in this variable, I'm trying to store the string that is hello. My dear students, so what is that I have? I have the string as hello. So you need to observe here, I have given the single quotes. Sir, why the double quotes is not there? Even single quotes will be treated same as double quotes. Both of the quotes exchange the same meaning. So you need to understand that. Yes. So what is my string here? My string is hello. So then what is the next line that I'm doing? So name of 0. What is the meaning of name of 0? So suppose if I write name is equal to hello, what will happen? So my representation, the indexing will happen like this. So I have H, E, L, L, O. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how my forward indexing will happen, right? Suppose if I write name of 0, this particular location I am trying to store P. This particular location I am trying to store P. So is it possible? Will I be able to execute this code? If I execute this code, will it give me the proper output? My dear students, this kind of assignments is not possible in string. I cannot assign the value like this. I cannot assign the value like this. If I execute this code, it will give me an error. Sir, why it will give me an error? Because string is not mutable. Strings is not mutable. So that is what you need to remember. So this is wrong. This is not possible with respect to the string. Strings will not support you to assign any values. That is what you need to understand, my dear students, with respect to the item assignment is not supported. So that is first point you need to remember. My dear students, let's understand this program. So to understand whether item assignment in the string is possible or not. So you need to observe here. So guys, I have taken a variable as name. Guys, I have taken a variable as name. So what is that I'm trying to store here? I'm trying to store a string as hello, and then here to the index name of 0, I'm trying to just store P. I'm just trying to store P. So here, instead of having H to this particular place, I'm just trying to store this P. So is it possible for me? Is it possible for me? So that is what I will just check, and I will show you if I run this program, will I get the proper output or I will end up with error, is what I will show you. So guys, I'll just run the program for all of you now. So all of you are able to see this. So I'm getting an error here. I'm getting a error here. I'm not getting the exact output. Why? Because strings is not supporting the item assignment concept, because strings are immutable. Strings are immutable. This is what you need to understand in this program, my dear students. Going on to the next one, traversing a string. So traversing a string in the sense, as I told you in the beginning, so you will be visiting each and every item that you have in the string. So you will be accessing each and every item that you have in the string with the help of loops. So that is what you need to understand with respect to the traversing. I will be explaining this concept with the help of a program. I will just run this program and I will show you. My dear students, I have taken this simple program to explain the concept of traversing. Let us understand how exactly this traversing is working for all of you. So guys, in this program, so I have taken the string. So in the string, I have powerful. So the powerful is enclosed with the quotes. That is my string. So what is the use of traversing? So what is the use of traversing? Imagine I have powerful. So guys, I should be able to visit each and every element or each and every character that I have in my string. So how it is possible? So for that, I'm using a for loop. So in this for loop, I have taken I in code. Code in the sense what? Powerful. A code in the sense what? Powerful. This I will go to this each and every character one by one sequentially in each iteration. For example, in the first iteration, I will be pointing to P. The second iteration, I will be pointing to O. So like that, one after the other, each and every character will be accessed with the help of I using a for loop. Let us understand. Let me execute this program for all of you and let us understand what is the output that I will be getting. Okay. So I will just run this program for all of you. So guys, I have powerful. Able to see this? So my dear students, powerful, I have my output as powerful. So guys, able to see this output? I have powerful. So why do I have powerful in the same line? Why should I use this I, comma, star, comma, n space? What is the use of this? Why should I use this? So my dear students, suppose if I use print statement without this n, so my P will be in the first line and the O will be in the next line, W will be in the next line. So it will start printing each and every character in the separate lines. I wanted to print everything in the same line. So that is the use of this end, whatever I am using here. So since I am using this n is equal to space, whatever I am storing in the end, so will help me to have all my characters in the same line. Suppose if I don't use this end in the same line, so everything will come in the different line. I will show you how exactly it is working. So this is how your output will be, suppose if I remove the end. So that is what you need to remember with respect to this program. This is how we are trying to understand the concept of traversing. Moving on to the next. The next concept is strings operator. I have already discussed the strings operator, my dear students. In total, we have 4 operators. So what is the first operator that I am going to discuss? My dear students, the first operator that I am going to discuss is string concatenation operator, that is plus. So plus, I will be using it as a concatenation operator. So what is the use of concatenation operator? I will be explaining with the program. So what is the next one that I have? String replication operator. So what is the next one that I have? String replication operator. So I will be using this star. I will be using this star as a replication operator. I will be using this star as a replication operator. And the next one is membership operator. Next one is membership operator. Why do I use this membership operator? That is what I will be explaining with the help of the program. And the last one that I have is comparison operators. So my dear students, I will be explaining these 4 operators with the help of the program. Let's have a quick look. Operators. Let me start the first operators with the help of concatenation operators. What is this concatenation operators? My dear students, I have to remember one thing if I say about concatenation operator, that is plus. So I can perform the addition of 2 strings with the help of the concatenation operator. The concatenation operator is plus. Suppose if I perform 2 strings operation, addition of 2 strings, so what will be my output? I will just show you. I am just taking k is equal to good as 1 string plus morning as 1 string. So guys, after that I am trying to print. What should be my output? It should be good morning. Let's run and check. So what is my output here? So my dear students, good morning is your output. So what is your output here? Able to see this? Good morning is your output here. So if I use the concatenation operators, it will add 2 strings. It will add 2 strings. That is what you need to remember. So moving on to the next one. What is the next operator that I have? So the next operator that I have is replicator. The next operator that I have is replicator. So what is this replicator operator? What is that I will be performing? So you need to observe here is, so I am performing 3 into in the sense star. So what is the star? What is the star is doing? It is performing the multiplication. So 3 times I will print HA. So what I should get? 3 times I will be printing HA. So this star is what I will be calling it as a replicator. The star I will be calling it as a replicator. So let me just show you how exactly the output is coming if I perform this operation. So my dear students, please observe. So your output is HA. 3 times you have got HA. So this is the speciality of replicator operator. So that is what you need to remember. So moving on to the next one. So what is the next operator that I have? So my dear students, the next operator that I have is membership operator. So you need to understand why are we using this membership operator? How many membership operator that we have? We have 2 different types of membership operator. The first one is in. The second one is not in. Sir, why do we use this in and not in? Yes. You need to observe here. I have taken the first string as K. You need to observe here. I have taken the first string as K and I'm using the operator that is in. I'm using the operator that is in. So what is that I'm trying to do? So my dear students, I'm just checking K is there in the Kaushik or not. K is there in the Kaushik or not. Suppose if the K is present in this string, so it will return true. It will return true. That true value will be stored in the variable A. The true value will be stored in the variable A. That is what you need to remember. So I will repeat. So I have this variable, I have this string K. So I'm just checking whether this K is present in this string Kaushik or not. So that is what I'm trying to check. Suppose if it is present, so then it will return true. So the true value will be stored in this particular variable. What is that I'm trying to check in the second one? So K not in prep school. K not in prep school. Here also I am considering two strings. One is K, another one is prep school. So what will be my output? Do I have K in this prep school? No. So what should be your output? So you need to think. So I am using not in. So write down your answer. I will execute the program and I will show you. So compare your answer with the output, my dear students. So again I am checking with this. So K in cool. So do I have K in cool? So what should be my output? So it should be false. It should be false. So write down your answer for this. I will show you the output, how exactly it is coming, my dear students. So what is that I'm trying to do? I'm just trying to print all this with the A, B, C. What is the value that I have? So what should be my output? So my output for the first one, so it should be true. The second one also it should be true. Third one it should be false. Let's check. So what is the output that I'm getting? So let me just run this program and show you, my dear students. It is true, true, false. Please observe this output, my dear students. It is true, true and false. This is how this membership operator is working with respect to the strings. Moving on to the next one. My dear students, the next one that I have, is comparison operators. So what is the use of comparison operators? Sir, I'm just trying to compare both the strings with the help of the operator, that is equal to, and also I can use all the relational operators to compare two different strings. So that is what you need to understand. The first point that you should remember is, so how exactly this strings are compared. So the strings are compared based on the uppercase and lowercase, and also based on the ASCII values of each and every character. That is what you need to remember with respect to this concept. If I just run this program, can you just predict what will be my output? So my dear students, what is the output for this? So I have true and false. So sir, A is equal to A, so it is true, and the next one is ABC is equal to capital ABC. Is it equal? No, it should be false. That is what you need to remember. So always it compares with respect to the case, uppercase and lowercase, and also it will take the ASCII values for the comparison. Moving on to the next one. My dear students, I have already discussed slicing. So string slicing, how exactly this string slicing is working, you need to understand. So I have taken a string. So what is the name of the string? The name of the string is characters. What is that I have stored? So my dear students, I have stored hello world, hello space world. That is my string here. So suppose if I give this operation, sir, what is that? Imagine I have given characters. Okay, so characters 6, 10. Suppose if I give, this is an example that I have taken. Suppose if I give like this, you need to understand two important things. Sir, what is this 6 and what is this 10 that you have given? So you already know that is a syntax to extract the substring from the string. So how we are trying to understand this? So my dear students, so this 6 is a starting value. This 6 is a starting value. This 10 is a stop value, or you can also call it as a end value. So guys, you need to understand one thing. So I should start from 6. So what is the 6? 6 is a index. 6 is a index. So let's take a look. So this is the index for the string. So guys, this is the 6 that I have. From this particular location, I have to start. You need to listen to me carefully right now. So guys, I have given 10. So you should not take 10. So previous to the 10 value, you should take. So till here, you have to consider the substring. Till here you have to consider the substring. So that is how I will be extracting the substring, or I will be performing the string slicing. My dear students, this is the start value, this is the stop value that you should remember with respect to the string slicing. I will repeat. Suppose if I give 10, so whatever the value that I have given, so till the previous value you need to extract the string. That is what you need to remember. Moving on to the next one. Let me explain these string functions one by one with the help of the program. I will demonstrate these functions using a program. So we have string capitalize. String capitalize in the sense I will be using this function to capitalize the first letter in my string. So that is the use of this string dot capitalize. The second one is string is alnum. String is alnum. So why do I use this string is alnum? So whether my given string is alphanumeric. So that is what I will check with this string is alnum. The third one is string is alpha. What is that? So my dear students, the given string is alphabet or not. So except alphabets, I am not supposed to have anything in my string is what I need to check. So third one is, do I have space in my string? Yeah, that is what I will be checking with is space. And the next one is, do I have lowercase in my string? That is what I will be checking with the string is lower. The same with the string dot lower. It will convert all the string that I have to the lower case, and string dot upper will convert all the characters that I have to the uppercase. So I will be demonstrating this with the help of programs. Let's have a look. A very important part, that is string functions. So you need to understand, so what are all the different types of string functions that I have. The first function that I'm going to discuss now is length. So what is the string that I have? I have given the string is rock the world. I've given the string as rock the world. So that is my string. I have stored this string in the variable that is str. I have given the string that is rock the world. I am storing this string in the variable that is str. So guys, I need to check the length of the string. So what is the length? What is the meaning of length? How many characters that I have in the string is what I will call it as a string length. That is what you need to remember. My dear students, you need to remember one more thing. Even the space, whatever I have given, even this space is also treated as a character. Even the space is also treated as a character. So this will be counted. You need to remember one more important point at this point of time. So it will not start from 0. It will start from 1. So that is what you need to remember. Suppose if I execute this particular function, so what it will give me? So it will give me the length of the string. It will give me the length of the string. That is the first point that you need to remember. The second one that I have is, you need to remember this. So str dot. Str in the sense what? So this string rock the world, that is what I'm trying to use here. That is what I'm trying to use here. What is this? Str dot capitalize. Capitalize your function. Capitalize your string function. What is the use of this capitalize? So whatever the string value that you have, the first character will be capitalized. The first character will be capitalized. What is the second one that I have? String dot is alnum. String dot is alnum. Why do I use this function? So to check whatever the characters that I have, that is with the combination of alphanumeric. That is with the combination of alphanumeric. Suppose if you have both alphabets as well as numerics, so it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false to your result or to your output. So what is the next one that I have? Is alpha. So suppose if you have only alphabets, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false to you. And then I have is digit. It will return true. Suppose if your string is with the only digits, then only you will get true. Otherwise, you will get false. For the next one that I have, string dot lower. So what is the meaning of lower? So it will convert whatever the string that you have given rock world into the lower case. And the last one that I have, that is string dot upper. It will convert all the characters whatever you have to the uppercase. So let us check the output of this program. I'm just trying to print all these things using this variable, and I'll show you what exactly the output that I will get. My dear students, let me just run this program for all of you. You need to remember, so I have 14 characters here. I have 14 characters here. So you need to remember, you need to see this output. So you need to see this output. You need to see this output. I have 14 characters here. I have how many characters here? 14 characters. Let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So I have 14 characters, my dear students. So my output is correct. So this is giving me the length of the string. This is giving the length of the string. Let's check the second output. So capitalize. Are you able to see this? If I would have given a small case, then it would have been converted into capital R. So the output is correct. The next one is alphanumeric. So is alpha. The next one is what? Is alpha. Do I have numbers in this? No. That's why my output is false. That's why my output is false. Suppose if I have both numbers and alphabets, my output will be true. The next one is alpha. The next one is alpha. You need to check this. Is alpha is also false. Why? You need to think. Why? Is alpha is also false. Sir, I have only alphabets, but still I am getting my result as false. My dear students, you need to observe. I have the space here. I have the space here. That is the reason I am getting my output as false. I am getting the result as false. So that is what you need to observe. So the next one that I have is digits. Do I have digits? No. Only digits? No. That's why my output is false, and it is converting into the lower case and it is converting it into the uppercase. So my dear students, with this program I have tried to explain the functions on strings. My dear students, this is what I wanted to explain with the concept of strings. So hope all of you have understood the concepts of strings. So if you have not watched Python Revision Tour 1, that is with the session 1 and session 2, please go back to the videos and watch it completely, understand the concept. My dear students, if you have liked it, please like and comment and share this video with all your friends. Thank you very much.